Isolation Radio.
Okay, so over the past 29 shows, I've reviewed 28 forms of moving image, so either a film or a TV show. 28 of them. I have a list in front of me now. Give that a ruffle, and I'm going to read out to you every single thing I have reviewed so far in the past 29 shows. Because what I'm going to do today is pick out not necessarily my top 5. I know that's what I've advertised it as. I don't want it to be seen as I think all these are better than everything else I've reviewed, because a lot of the stuff I've reviewed has been really good, and this 5 I've picked out aren't necessarily better than all the others on there. But this is kind of a selection I think that a few people could get into and could find one or two things from it they'd like, and just a few recommendations rather than me, let's say, doing a top 10, because that's too many. I think 5 is a nice selection. So I'll read out the 28 things I've reviewed. So, and they're not in any order, by the way. So 1917, A Quiet Place, Inglourious Basterds, Breaking Bad, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, The Mandalorian, Better Call Saul, Goodfellas, Marriage Story, Night Hunter, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Breakfast Club, Contact, Safe, The Big Short, The Dark Knight, Joker, Scrubs, Garden State, The Stranger, Dunkirk, Shutter Island, The Society, Justice League, The Office, US, Tag, and Boyhood. So quite a few things. 28 things, and I've picked out 5, so I will go through those now. So the first thing I've picked out is a series, and it is Breaking Bad. I gave this show a 5 out of 5. In fact, I think all my 5 picks on today's show I have actually given a 5 out of 5, I think. And the reason is this: it's such a well-crafted drama and story with fantastic acting that it is a must-watch for any moving image enthusiast. I mean, Bryan Cranston is great as Walter White, the chemistry teacher turned drug manufacturer, and although that storyline doesn't sound like the most appealing thing to sit down with a cup of tea and watch, the story is great, and it's probably not what you expect. It's not constant action and unrealistic drug deals. In fact, it's actually more drama through characters and conversations and character growth, and it also knows when to stop. Like Jack said in his sort of mini recording earlier, he mentioned Breaking Bad. Some shows just go on and on and on because they're making money. They just keep churning out the seasons and it doesn't really go anywhere. I don't think the story. Breaking Bad, it knew when to stop. It's a well-rounded story that takes place over 2 years, and it's definitely worth a watch if you want a series that is well-rounded and well-finished and enjoyable. So, yeah, Breaking Bad stopped at the right time and it didn't ruin a good thing. And it's available on Netflix, and of course the usual places to rent or buy it as well. But if you've got Netflix, all the seasons are on there, including the prequel show Better Call Saul and the sequel film El Camino. So my second pick is a film that I reviewed a couple of shows ago, one of the more recent reviews I've done, and it's Marriage Story. This is the first film on the list. And it's a Netflix gem. It really is. Netflix is great. You can watch properly good films, not just random cheap films made for streaming. They've actually got proper Hollywood films on. And Marriage Story is a prime example of that. It's a drama about a divorce starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, and it's won multiple awards, and it's really well made, from the script, the writing, to the directing, to the acting, to all of it. There are great performances, really great performances. It's so emotional, empowering at moments that are heartfelt, and it's quite subtle at times as well, which I think works. And there's also got a really good musical score as well. And it's pretty recent, like I said, it came out last year. Again, I gave this a 5 out of 5, and rightly so. And if you're looking for a film to watch on Netflix, stick on Marriage Story, and you'll probably enjoy it, even if it's not something you would normally choose to watch. So the third on this list is another film, again from last year. We had a great year films last year, and this film is directed by Sam Mendes. It is the war thriller 1917. I'm not gonna lie, originally I had Joker pegged in for my third pick. It was going to be Joker, but then I kind of realised that Joker is enjoyed by quite a lot, but not necessarily most people, whereas 1917 I think can be enjoyed and experienced by most people in a positive way. So that's why I've picked 1917 instead of Joker. I'm not saying I prefer it, but that's why. And the cinematography in this film is amazing. It's so well made. The one-shot aspect is brilliant. It's really interesting, and it makes the film so engaging because you're watching it in real time. And this film, it really brings to life the horror of World War One, and it's a very exciting and thrilling film. And the musical score is also great. So 1917 is my third pick, and I definitely watched this. My next one is Well, this is kind of my personal favourite series of all time, but it's also something, again, that I think the majority of people can sit down and enjoy. It's Scrubs. This is a comedy drama that ran from 2001 to 2010 with 8 brilliant seasons, and it's so easy to watch. It's fast-paced, it's hilarious. I've seen it loads, and I still laugh at all the jokes that I've seen 100 times. It's unique. It sometimes goes a little bit too near the line without crossing it, which is good, but there's some really dramatic and emotional moments that is unusual. That's unusual for what was a primetime comedy, to have emotional moments, and it does have that. It has relatable storylines, characters, and the entire series is on All 4 for free. Yes, for free. All 4 is just like BBC iPlayer, but for Channel 4 channels, and all you need is an email and a password, and you can watch the entire series of Scrubs. There's the odd rude word and joke cut out, because some episodes are mainly PG, and I think All 4 thought they'd just snip it a little bit to make it approachable for more people, and some of the music has had to be changed due to copyright and streaming laws, but overall the show is exactly the same, and it's a great, easy quarantine watch. You don't have to focus too much on Scrubs. And my final top pick for lockdown watching is another film that's available on Netflix, and it's again one I reviewed very recently. In fact, I reviewed it last show, and it's a film, and it is Boyhood. Again, I viewed it the other day, so I'm not going to go into too much detail again, but this film, again, was filmed over 12 years to show realistically growing up, and is a fantastic filmmaking achievement. Any film lover and enthusiast needs to watch this film because of how clever and unique it is, with its quite subtle but great story and great music, and the final shot of the film is great. There's great characters, and because of how uniquely it was made, it's definitely worth a watch. Again, it's on Netflix, and that is why it has made my top picks. So those are my 5 top picks from the 28 things I've reviewed. Again, I'm not saying they're better than the other things I've reviewed, and they weren't in any particular order either. They were just 5 top picks that I would say go out and watch because, you know, you've got the time. Maybe we're still pretty much in lockdown, even though things are easing, and that's kind of a nice selection. So Breaking Bad, Marriage Story, 1917, Scrubs, and we also had Boyhood. So
Isolation Radio.